Hi everyone, so thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of creating our Rain and Rainbows game. And I just wanted to go ahead and show you kind of the finishing steps and a few additional options if you should have time or materials to do so. So let's take a look at what we're going to work on today. So as you can see, I finished going over my game board, the whole entire thing with Sharpie. And I've started to lay out and choose where I'm going to put the rainbows onto my board. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty simple, and you can use what you have. If you have glue, you certainly may use that. It will take a little bit of holding in place or putting something on top of it, like a piece of a tape roll or something like that, or even a marker to hold it down. So in my case, because I wanted to work quickly, I'm actually going to use just a little bit of masking tape. So I'll show you what I did for that. So I just take a small piece of tape ripped off, and I bend one side like this, and bend the other side. You don't need a lot because again, the rainbow edges are pretty small. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on the edge of the rainbow just like that. And then I'll start with another piece for the other side because I want it to bend up in an arc, as you can see. Okay, you see it has 3D, it pops off of the page. All right. The other thing I want to mention as I'm setting this up is that I want to leave a little bit of room for your game pieces. Okay, so don't forget about that once you get it created. Now I'm going to take a look over here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on 7 because there's nothing over here yet. So I'm going to make it go from 7 to 14. Okay, so just like that, popping it over the top. So again, you don't have to choose the same spaces that I did for anything to happen, but I just wanted to spread things out a little bit so it makes the game a little bit more fun. Now, a couple of the last steps that I'll share with you is I would like to start, because the whole thing is rainbows, I do want to shade in a background. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with my red and start in the bottom corner of the board. And I'm just going to shade right over here. And I'm going to work diagonally. Now, if you had another plan for the colors or the color palette that you're choosing for shading, you're more than welcome to do so. I just happen to like to keep with the theme. So I'll just start with my red over in the corner. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I will grab my orange in a moment. And you can blend as much as you like. I happen to have a little bit of a reddish orange, so I'm going to blend that into my red to make the transition really smooth and bring some harmony into my game board here. Make it look like it's all connected. Then I'll go into a little bit of a lighter orange right here. And again, I'm just going right over the whole board, everything that I've done. And I'm using that angle. I'm even going right underneath my rainbow itself. The only thing I'm not going to color in is my clouds, because I do want those to stand out and I want to leave that negative space or that white space in between the outline. And I'm going to keep going with my orange. Then I'll go in with what I'll probably do, I have 2 color greens, so just like I did with the other, I'll do a darker green, just like I did with the orange. I'll layer in the dark green first. And then go into my lighter green and just keep blending away, okay? And then the idea is to just get through the whole board, continuing on with your blue, your dark blue or indigo, and then your violet or purple, whatever you have is fine, okay? Even something, you could even take something like that and use that for your ending color. So the other thing I wanted to offer to you is, and this might require a little bit of adult help, if you have also an empty cereal box, you can go ahead and you can use that for the backing of your game board. So what you can do is you can take your mat here and you can either glue it. Glue is great, and just making sure that you get all the edges. And you may have to, like I said, get a little bit of adult help with trimming the edge of your cardboard. It'll make a really nice backing. Okay, and in my case, gonna use my handy tape because I just like masking tape. I like that it's instantly attached. I don't have to worry about it drying. And so I'm just going to make sure I go into the edges, okay, and the corners. That's really important. You don't have to worry as much about the middle. You can obviously put a piece or two in the middle, but you don't have to worry too much about it. And again, I definitely recommend getting a grown-up's help with the original cutting of the cardboard box, just because that could be a little bit tricky. But once you've got it into a rectangle, it becomes a little easier. So again, I'm just double folding my tape, and I'll show you once again how I do that. Just take your tape, fold in one direction, hold it tight, and press onto the other side. Makes a little circle. And I may have to trim my cardboard again, which is fine. I'm just gonna really smooth that down, okay? As you can see, you can end up with a little bubble that you don't want. So you just wanna make sure you really press down on all of the sides. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim my game board once more. Now, a little tip I'm going to give to you is if you don't have any kind of game pieces, that's super simple to fix. You can actually create some of your own game pieces just with another piece of paper. So I'll show you what I mean. You do need to keep your pieces just like I did with the rainbow strip. I kept it pretty thin. You'll do the same. And then you just take a little piece, fold it in half, okay? And then it stands right up, just like that. Really simple, like a little, sometimes you call it a table tent. It's kind of a miniature version of that. And then you can make it whatever you want. You could do a stick figure of yourself. You can do a picture of a pet, you know, anything, any game piece that you want to make. You can make it a rainbow or a cloud to go with the theme of the game. So that's up to you. You can, you know, create that how you want. And that will be your little game piece, really simply to play, okay? And I will be sure to include directions on how to play this game. I hope you enjoyed this project, and thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.